Okay, so I'm gonna run over basically how to play caravan in the most simple way possible. I'm not gonna explain
Sure.
everything. I'm just gonna explain what you need to know. So first, always auto match. Do not raise. There's no point in raising. Just auto match. For your deck, keep it as close to 30 cards or make it 30 cards if you can. 30 cards is the least amount of cards that you can have, and you want to basically just run and gun through the game as quickly as possible. The cards that you want in order of importance are 10s, kings, 9s and 8s are tied, jacks, and then 7s. If you have enough 10s, 9s, and 8s and kings, you actually don't even need 7s, but when you're starting the game, and unless you want to invest more into it, you just go with the first thing I said. All your 7s, 9s, 8s, 10s, jacks, and kings. No other card matters. If you don't have enough to fill out 30 but have those cards already selected, just add like 5s, and they're just going to be burner cards or any other number. It doesn't matter. So, how the game starts. You have to fill out all 3 of your tracks of a single card before you can do anything additionally afterwards, which I'm going to do now, like this. Now, to explain why I did it like this, for me, not even thinking about what the opponent's doing, I have the main 3 ways that you're going to get to 26, which is the goal. Each track you have to have exactly on 26 points. The 3 ways that you're able to do this are 10, 9, 7, which adds up to 26. You don't need special cards. 9 and 8, where you throw a king on the 9, which 9, 9, 8 is 26. And 10 and 8, where you throw the king on the 8, which 10, 8, 8 is 26. Those are the 3 ways you can get 26. Now, as you can see from my hand, I have 10, 9, 7, I have 10 and 8, and a king, and then I have another, an extra 10, basically. But I need to play everything out before I can do anything else, so that's the way I'm doing it. So I know that the left track and the right track I'm going to be able to fill out quickly with cards to get to 26. So that's my thinking for my decks. Now, equally important, and the other way in which you win is you don't have to have all 3 tracks of 26 to win. That's not the winning condition. The winning condition, because your opponent could do that too and you draw, the winning condition is that your opponent cannot have the same amount of 26s as you if their deck were to play out. The game will calculate their deck and the pot, like whether or not they can win at any time after every round. So, part of the game as well is using your kings, which double a value on their cards to screw them over, as well as their jacks, which remove that card from the track and remove that value to make it so that they can't get to 26. Usually the most valuable way of doing this, and which is why kings are as valuable as they are, is shooting them over 26 by doubling their points on a card that would make it so that they go over the 26 point value, which means they either have to delete that track and get rid of all those cards, ruining their chances of, or lessening their chances severely of getting to 26 with adding new cards to that track, or they have to waste jacks, which are rare, and it costs them a lot of resources. So really how you win this game, and the win condition of this game, is that you always have one more track at 26 points than they do. And if you do that, you will guarantee yourself a win. So, for now, the opponent doesn't really have anything at 26. I'm not worried about what they're doing. So, in the meantime, I'm going to start playing on my stuff to get it to 26. Still doesn't have anything at 26. The opponent is getting close, but isn't there yet. Still close, but isn't there yet. I'm about to get my second track to 26. The opponent finally has one track at 26. So what I'm going to do now, I could get to 26 on mine, but this most likely won't guarantee me a win, as you can see. Because again, and this actually makes my point, I have 3 tracks at 26. I have not won the game yet because the opponent still has enough cards and the value of those cards, as the computer is able to determine, that they could come back and match me at least. So the game isn't over. But if I go over here and screw up one of their tracks like that exactly, the game then will determine afterwards if they can recover from their track getting screwed up by being shot over the 26 point value and still at least tie with me on 3 tracks, which is really unlikely. And honestly, in any game where you fill up 3 tracks that quickly and then you sabotage one of your enemy's tracks, the game will almost always determine that you won. So, again, that's the game. You're always trying to have one more track than your opponent, at least at 26 points. You are sabotaging your opponent's tracks at the same time, which you could almost think of it as like having a track over 26. The game calculates as a negative point instead of just like a neutral thing. At least in terms of your favor of winning. So it's like at that point at the end, I had +3, the opponent had -1, and the game determined the computer wouldn't be able to recover, or my opponent wouldn't be able to recover. And yeah, that's effectively how the game works. Get as many tracks to 26, damage your opponent's tracks so that they're over 26, and that's how you win. I'll even give another example really quick of a game just to like
hey there, friend,
showcase it. So we'll play again, auto match. I have my deck already set up, and luckily you don't have to rebuild your deck every time. Thank God. That would be really annoying. Okay, so I see I have 2 10s, I have a 9, 7, and an 8. So what I'm going to do is throw down 2 of the 10s, and then I'm going to throw down an 8. The reason why I throw down the 8, by the way, is, so to give an example, when you place a number on a track, that, like the 10 at first, that doesn't determine the order of the value of the cards that come after it. However, the card that you place after it will determine the order. So if I play that first card and I play a card of lesser value after, all of the cards after have to be of lesser value. Now, technically that isn't true. There are a lot more rules to this game, but they almost never come up. So again, I'm not going to explain them. But since I'm putting a 9 on here, the card after has to be 8 or lower. It can't be the same value either. Now, as you may have just seen, the opponent got rid of one of my cards of a jack. So now I don't have 3 tracks. But you aren't stuck like you are in the beginning of the game where you have to have 3 tracks filled before you can play. Once 3 tracks have been filled, you can do whatever you want and play wherever you want. I could leave that blank for the rest of the game and still win theoretically. So for now, I'm going to ignore it until I get a value there that I want. I don't think I need this I don't think I need this 7, so I'm getting rid of that. I also don't think I need that 7, so I'm getting rid of that. I'm gonna sabotage my opponent a little bit here. So now that he's at 0 tracks to 26, I'm at 1 track to 26. Okay, cool. I got a 10, which is perfect. And then actually, I'm going to follow this up by setting up an 8 and 9 king combo on the left. He put himself into a negative track by going over 26 for some reason. Again, the computers aren't the best at this. I'm going to turn this into a 26. So I have 2 tracks at 26. The game is, and by the way, the game is still running because the game still believes that they can pull this off. So I am just going to keep myself secure. I'm going to hold on to my jacks in case I need him to sabotage him. I'm going to get rid of this 8 because I don't think I need that right now. And then I got the king. So I'm going to be able to make a third 26 by doubling the 9. And I won. So hopefully that was a good example of it made sense. But like, again, I think this video is like 9 minutes long, and that is like all the information you will ever need to know. Like, you could even watch a video that's 2 minutes long and probably still get all of this, but like that hopefully will give you enough example and explanation to be able to win and do what you want and make a lot of money. Because again, like once after you get all the casinos, sure, that's like 40,000, but like at least on this mod that I'm playing on, 40,000 isn't enough. You like make so little money from selling stuff, and you constantly have to sell stuff because of how valuable resources are, that like you need another form of income as well, which is where caravan comes in. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye bye.